I come in 1987. I don't live no Manhattan, no Brooklyn, no Jersey, no Queens. Staten Island. In 1997. In that time, I was cooking. I remember when the tinta was done. Well, I looking like this, or smoking. How many people died? I don't know what's going on. The two tin towers go down in 211. I don't know. It was, I think.
I thought when I came here it was peaceful. It's not.
Hello, this is public servant announcement. If you see this tree behind you, that is from Samantha Lynn Hall. She died from drug abuse. So please, believe me, drugs aren't the answer for what your needs are. Remember, love is love.
They no shame in my game. I don't got nothing to hide. Just talk to me.
No matter where you go, there you are. So hey, let me ask you a question.
The homeless? Well, the homeless, me personally, I think they need to be in a shelter, but they don't like it. Because in the shelter, they rob, they steal, so they don't like it. So that's why we have a lot of them out here, because they don't feel safe in the shelter. So if the mayor, do something better for the homeless to make them feel secure, when they go into a shelter, yeah, I think they're going to a shelter. But right now, they not trying to go into a shelter. They sleeping on trains, sleeping here, sleeping on boats, Yeah, they don't feel safe. It's a system. Nobody wants to be homeless. Nobody want to be out here, especially in the winter, sleeping and over here be on benches and blankets. Nobody wants to be out here. But it's just the system.
Last night we slept in the shelter. I have 3 children and my husband. The oldest is 12, he is 11, and the baby is a year and a half old. They go off to school and I stay at the shelter with the little baby. I'm not going anywhere because I don't know any friends. And the hardest thing is to see my children have to sleep in a single room. I had a bad experience. It wasn't my fault. It was the girl's fault. She was crazy, and she almost took me down the stairs. She gave me a push, and then she insults me. She messes with me. But I don't pay attention to her because at the shelter, they tell me that if I were to fight her, I could be deported to my country.
I want to see my uncle. Maybe I can sleep over there tonight. I come by again. You can find me right by the terminal. Over there, si you go now in the terminal, you find a lot of people. A lot of people.
I've been homeless all my life. I don't even know what it's like to have a bed.
I had a very good job at the railroad. I was driving a cab after that, after I left the railroad. And what happened was I got a ticket for talking on the cell phone. I lost my license and I can't make a living. I'm staying in a shelter. I'm homeless. I feel so broken up. You have no idea, my man. Really broken up, man.
How do people become homeless?
Choice.
No, it's not choice. I don't even know why you would say that, because mine wasn't choice. Things, sometimes you fall on hardships, things get hard, some people get laid off.
I never thought this would happen to me. Never thought in my life that something like this would happen to me so bad.
I had everything I needed. I lived in an adoptive home. I don't want to be homeless. I became homeless because my mom had kicked me out when I was 18. I began to do the wrong thing, smoking pot, drinking liquor, coming home late. My mom got really tired of it.
Other than that, because we're homeless, most of us do drugs, so we're looked at as people who are always trying to get over on somebody. So, that's a view too.
I would like to get myself back to normal again, I do like to drink. I do not do no drugs whatsoever, okay? No drugs whatsoever. It's a bad year for me, that's all. As you can see, I'm almost in tears.
There's homelessness that comes as a result of domestic violence. There's homelessness that comes as a result of lack of employment. There's homelessness that comes from disenfranchisement and separation and alienation from your family. There's homelessness that happens when people were lived and cared for by their parents and their parents died and they never lived on their own before, even though they might be 40, 50, or 60 years old themselves. There are people who live with mental illness that creates some of that alienation, and their inability to maintain their own apartment at times forces them into homelessness. And we see it in the issues of addiction and in alcoholism. Again, with separation from families and people falling apart to the point where they're living on the street. So it's all different kinds of things bring a person to homelessness, and there are all different paths out of homelessness as well. I came out of college and went straight into seminary, and from seminary to graduate school with the intention of teaching religion or ethics. I had the opportunity to study in Latin America, specifically in Costa Rica, and also served then as a human rights worker in El Salvador, in Guatemala, in Honduras, and in Nicaragua. In 1984, which was really the height of the Salvadorian War and much civil unrest. I was really traumatized returning to the United States because I had really lived in extreme poverty with people. I worked on a farm where I picked cotton for a month. I lived in a tent. I didn't have access to showers or toilet paper or transportation in some aspects. I rode on horseback where I had to get to where I needed to go. And I saw extreme poverty, the likes of which I had never seen before. So returning was a culture shock for me. And I looked for a place where I might be able to help in solidarity with poor people, particularly homeless people. My name is Terry Troya, and I serve as the president of Project Hospitality. Well, for sure, homeless people who are struggling with addiction issues or with mental health issues are suffering the most because they are sometimes afraid to come in for services, and they need people to be understanding, and it's very hard to follow a rigidity of rules when you're struggling really with your own very basic life needs. So there really needs to be more low threshold programs and housings to welcome them in wherever they are in their life journey.
We're seen as a lower form of person. We're seen as somebody who's a drug addict and an immediate screw up. So just stop. We looked at as a group of people that seem like they want to just do nothing but get over on people, and that's not the truth.
I don't know what it's like to have a bed. The only time I ever had a bed is when I was in a shelter. When I was able to get in. When everybody's so hateful, they wouldn't let me in. Treated me like shit. I got people that live in there praying over me, putting food on me while I'm sleeping. I wake up, food all over me, markings all over me. The staff members beat me up physically.
Well, I've had much services mental health wise for years at a time. I was away in an insane asylum for many years called South Beach Psychiatric Center. I remember calling my mom and telling her I was going there, and she yelled at me and said it's not an insane asylum, but in fact it is. I was there for well-being, so they helped me in the street and off the street at the same time.
Project Hospitality was really formed out of the heart and compassion of the Reverend Roland Ratmeyer, who was the pastor at Brighton Heights Reformed Church. And being the church closest to the Staten Island ferry, saw homeless people sleeping in the ferry and sleeping on the streets, and in particular on the church lawn. And the experience of need was so immediate and so profound that he first started a food pantry, and from there to a shelter in the basement of the church, which was the first shelter opened on Staten Island.
Right now, I'm staying in a church. Thank God bless these people. It's called the Bethel Church on Van Duzer Street. They're letting me sleep there. You can't go there till 9 o'clock at night. You have to be out at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I have to stay out like all day long, okay? They're very good to me over there. God bless them. These people are good people. They'll give me a meal at nighttime. They'll give me breakfast in the morning. So I'm eating, but I'm struggling like a dog. I never felt this way in my life. The only thing I get is food stamps. That's it. I'm not getting no cash assistance. I never asked anything for anybody, nobody. I had a bad break, man.
Eating's very hard. Usually what it comes down to is if you're not working, you have to do some type of wrong to make money, You try to go to places at nighttime like Domino's. We go there at 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll tell them you have any extra pizza left over. If they have it, they'll give it to you. So if you work hard for it, you might get something to eat. But if not, you got to do something wrong, and it's not cool. Some people don't want to do something wrong.
The people we see cut across all parts of the community, but the majority of the people that we serve are people of color. And it is in those communities that, because of racial inequities, that we find people are experiencing more hardship and poverty, and we need to look at some of the causes that are structural that keep people poor. To meet immediate human need and try to bring an end to the structures that create the poverty that keeps people suffering.
That's really about it, Phones are very important. I had a phone and got hit by a car, and that's it. And I don't know if I gotta wait 6 months to get another one, but I have no contact as far as phone.
I have nobody, that would hurt me or anything, I keep to myself. I have one good friend that I see him. He's a retired longshoreman. He's 71 years old. He's a good guy. I know him for 38 years, and he helps me as much as he can. He's got 3 daughters, 3 grandchildren. He's supporting them, and he still helps me too, I might do some odd jobs for him to help him out, to make some money, but I am struggling like a dog right now. I can't tell you how much I'm struggling. I'm like kind of lost right now, worrying where I'm going to stay every day, And I'm not a bad person at all. I'm not. I mean, look at me.
Just, it's just the city should be doing more to really observe who they're helping, to a certain level, as opposed to somebody who they're not. Like I said before, if I'm a union guy, I'm working, I'm just laid off from work.
We are out on the streets looking for homeless people that are sleeping in places that are a threat to their lives. Like last night when it was 19 degrees out and there was a homeless woman who was sleeping on the corner of Newdorp Lane and Highland Boulevard. And we find them and we bring them into a homeless center where they can shower, they can get a change of clothes, they can wash their clothes, they can see a doctor, and they can begin a step to some level of normal life, which is not a threat to themselves or to other people.
if I could get my license back, I could drive and I could make money every day, you know? If I could make money, I could get a hotel room, but right now I can't do nothing. I'm living in a suitcase, as you see.
I really want to work. I can't imagine that I don't. No. How do I explain? I cry, not in front of my children. I see the situation they are going through. I would like them to ask me for something, and sometimes I don't have the means to give it to them. We got a call about a month and a half ago, and we were told that we had been selected for a housing unit. We got a call back, and they said they made a mistake because we have to have a social security number to be able to qualify us for housing. There are many single mothers who do not have husbands. They have only their children, and we can't even leave the children alone. So they may be insecure to go out to look for work while their children are in school, because they mostly give them work for several hours and they're unable to take it.
My kid is covered 3 years and a half. Now my kid 19. 3 years and a half, but 19. Pay the 5 years. No more. Now my kid live in Jersey City, but I don't know what place.
I have a father who lives all the way up in New Jersey. He's 88 years old, and he's just making it. He's on a Social Security check, you know. I mean, once in a while, if he comes into Staten Island, he'll hand me a $20 bill, but, you know, what could he do for me at 88 years old? I just want a good, peaceful life, you know. I don't hurt nobody. I just want a peaceful life. That's what I want. I do. I really do. But right now, my man, I'm struggling so bad. I never had mental health services, never, okay? Right now, I feel like I'm like taking a nervous breakdown because of everything that's happening to me. And like I said, I never did nothing wrong to nobody. I don't know how this happened to me, man. It's horrible. I don't have a dollar to my fucking, excuse the language, I don't have a dollar to my name. I'm here out in the freezing snow, as you see, and I'm struggling so bad, man. I wish things would get better. I've been going to church, praying to God. That's what I've been doing. But I'm even losing faith in that right now. I'm losing faith in God.
Well, you know what, Mommy? I was homeless at one time.
I feel like I'm drowning, okay? I try to keep my head above water, but I feel like I'm drowning, okay?
And while it begins with offering food and shelter, it goes on to providing health care, mental health care, drug treatment if it's necessary. We have immigration services for people who are immigrants. We have legal services and we have education. And most importantly, we provide different levels of housing in order for people to reintegrate into the community and to receive and achieve the fulfillment that they need. And people who are working entry-level jobs, people who are making minimum wage or even above minimum wage, even making $30,000 or $35,000 a year, are just not able to sustain themselves in any kind of independent housing. We need to build housing for people at a price that they can afford in order for them to live and contribute to the community.
Brother, come over here. They want us under the camera. Please come over a little bit. Because we're vets. Yeah, we're vets. See this hat? Hello, I'm Navy, he's Army. And there's Army. No matter where you go, we're in the United States. But let me ask you a question.
Home?
The word home? Ugh.
Home means area.
Home having a roof over your head with a nice warm roof over your head.
Ser una familia.
Laying in bed at nighttime, watching my son breathe while he sleeps. That's home.
Home means the place where I have heat and light and a place that I can lay my head in safety. I hope that's what it means for everybody.
When you come into your home, it should be peaceful. If you don't have peace in your home,
The only thing positive is my son. So.
Right now, there's nothing going positive in my life except that I woke up opening my eyes in the morning. That's the only thing that's positive, okay?